Alright, so today we are going to do a specific journal, and we are also going to look at these things, which include purchase journal and purchase return, sales journal, sales return, cash book, and journal. Okay, so let me clear this thing first. Okay, let's get rid of it. Okay, so I will convert this into sales journal. Okay, I don't need double column for this thing because I will be recording the amount once only, and that is credit. So I'm going to move it to this side, and I'm going to make this section a bit bigger so the amounts are more clearer. Okay, so I have purchased. Similarly, I will have, okay, I have sales. Similarly, I will have purchase return, and I will have sales return and cash. Okay, so let me demonstrate here and change the names for the journals. Let it be, I think we can, what we can do is return and move this column over here, and these two down here, so it's more easy. Purchase with purchase return, sales with sales return will be much easier to understand things. So once we are done, then we can move on with the entries, and we also need to have a general journal. That is most important, because if any transaction is not going or classified into any account, then it will be going into general journal, and the format is again going to be the same as it was in the previous video. So we have date, detail, amount, and this will be debit, and then we have amount, credit. All right, so I haven't prepared the cash book yet, but okay, let's prepare it on one shot itself, so it's easier, so we don't have to make the cash book when we are posting the entries. And this is not date, and this is the same format of the cash book as we have in the ledger. So you can also do the left side and the right side of the cash book. That's not wrong. I mean, that is more preferred, but I'm just going to do cash book for now. All right. So if we look the same, if we look at the same examples, then we can see we have first example as invested cash into the business. Okay, so how can we identify whether it's going into purchase or general journal or sales journal, whichever journal, is that in purchase we will only have trade payable. So if we are buying goods on credit, it will go in purchase journal. If we are buying goods on, if we are selling goods on credit, then it will go in sales journal. And if we are paying something, if some money is coming into business or going out of business, then it will be cash book. If we are buying non-current assets, if there is depreciation or anything we are not paying, or if it's that is not included in cash book, it will go in general journal. Okay, so let's say if we invested the capital, or if we invested the cash into the business, okay, and that is 20,000 in this case. So that is something coming into business, so that's why this is the reason it's going to be debit in cash book, and we are only going to post the entry once in general journal. We saw in uh, sorry, specific journal. Okay, I think I mispronounced the specific journal. So let me repeat that again. If we have this amount, we are going to only post it once in specific journal, and it was opposite in general journal. Okay, so we will be posting only once this amount, and that will be 20,000. We will be having cash here, okay. But this is already cash book, so it's going to be capital, and the date will be 1st January, and that's all. Okay, so we are not going to open an account with the name of capital right now. We will do that when we will go into T account or ledger. Okay, so in specific journal we are just going to post the entry once. So then we have what equipments. So equipments are not something we buy for purchase, so it's not something for reselling. Okay, so that's why it will go into cash book. Why it's cash book, not general journal? Because it's on cash. If we are buying on credit, then it will go in general journal. Okay, so this is cash. Let me copy the amount from here. Okay, then we have date. I think this column should be smaller, and bought equipments, and the date is 2nd January. Okay, okay, so just let me stretch this a bit. This is the date column, shouldn't be too wide. And okay, so moving on with January 2nd, also we paid the rent for the shop. So if we paid the rent on the shop, it can be trade other payables, or it can be also by cash. So if it's by trade payable, okay, uh, so for this example I think I should keep it simple, and let's just keep it for on cash. Okay, by cash, let me emphasize on this, it's cash. So this is going to go into cash book. Okay, I will post it over here. I will have rent paid, and then again 2nd January. Okay, so then we have bought inventory. So inventory is something we are buying, so in this case we are buying on cash. So if we are buying the inventory on cash, that means it's not going to go into purchase journal. The reason is because we are buying on cash. We can write here purchase, and then we can have the transaction, which is 10,000 in this case. Okay, so then we sold the goods, 50% of inventory. We sold 50% of inventory, and 1200 goods for $12,000. So I'm going to take this amount and copy it here. Why I am copying it in the cash book? The reason is we sold it on cash. Okay, so the reason is we sold it on cash. Uh, Maybe I can highlight it with some color. Okay, so this is the reason I'm posting it into cash book. Sales, we have the date is 4 January. Okay, then moving on with bought the inventory on credit for 8,000. So we are going to take this one and put it into purchase ledger. Why purchase ledger? And the reason I am going to say is that because it's on credit. So if I have specified the name here, or from what is the name of trade payable, then I'm going to specify here what is the name of trade payable. Okay, but in this case I don't have the name, so I can just write trade payable over there. So on credit we bought it for 8,000, so I think I don't have to copy it, I can just write it. Okay, I'm only posting this entry once. I am emphasizing enough that I am posting this entry once because this is specific journal. If I have any entry I was supposed to post here, then I will post it twice. Okay, so moving on with the next entry, bought more inventory on cash. Then again it's going to go into cash book, and that is going to be 6th January. We have purchases, and then the amount is, how much is it? It's 2000. All right, we sold the inventory. Okay, we sold 80% of the inventory, and that is for 19,000, and 5,000 is by cash, and the rest was on credit. So it's mean 14,000 is on credit. So 5,000 I'm going to write down here because it's cash, and that is 5,000, and the date is 7 January. And where is the sales? Okay, on 7 January also I will write here trade receivable. Why I'm writing trade receivable is because the I don't have the name of the trade receivable. Okay, so the amount will be 14,000. Why it's 14,000? Because I have to minus 5,000 from 19,000, because out of this total 19,000, 5,000 is sold by cash. If I minus 5,000 from 19,000, it will be 14,000. Okay, so I withdrew cash for personal use. Okay, so again writing here on cash side drawings, it will be 5,000. The reason it's in cash book because we are taking out the money from the bank, we are taking the money physically, so it's reducing the amount. So let's have some examples in the general journal and purchase return and sales return also. So if I say on 9 January I bought the goods, no, let's say we bought the motor vehicles for 20,000 on credit. Okay, I'm going to make it black. The reason is I'm not emphasizing enough on that. Okay, so 9 January it will be here. Okay, and detail will be motor vehicle, it's not equipments, motor vehicles, and the other account that will be credit is the amount is 20,000 in this case, and the entry will look like this. So we are posting the entry once in all the journals except general journal. Okay, so the entry will look like this. So if we have other examples for purchase return, then we can say on 10 January goods 1,000, maybe 1,000 should be fine enough, right? Okay, we returned the goods costing 1,000. Okay, so it's 10 January. Then we have trade payable, and then the amount is 1,000 in this case. Okay, and that is how we are going to post it. Simple, right? So on 11 January customer returned goods for how much can we say? 5, let's say 3,000. Okay, actually this entry is supposed to be before this. So let's make it 11, and let's make it 10. So if I make it 10, I have to make it 11 over here, so I will make it 11. The reason I'm making it 11 is because if we sell the goods and then customer return the goods to us, then only the we as a business are going to return the goods to the supplier, right? That does make more sense than we are returning the goods to a supplier, then we are getting return from the customer. So I'm going to post this entry now, and that is in sales return on 10 January. Then it's going to be trade receivable, and the reason it's going to be trade receivable is my spellings are wrong. As always, here also it's wrong. All right, so this is 3000. I'm going to post it 3000 here. So I think it has E over here. Receivable. Do we have E? Okay, more appropriate maybe. So we have posted one entry in all of the journals, and this is how we are going to post the entries in specific journal. So we post the entries once in sales journal, we will post the entry once in sales return, once in the purchase, once in purchase return, but double twice. We will post the entry twice in general journal as we did in the other account. So here we can also specify why we have bought the things. So in this case we bought the motor vehicles on credit. We can say here as a description, as I mentioned in the previous video, in general journal we are supposed to specify the things why we are doing. So we can say bought the MV4 or on credit. Okay, I think that's a reasonable description, and this is the cash book. This is what you are going to have, what you are going to pay, and what you are going to receive. So that's all for this tutorial. In next tutorial we are going to post these entries into ledger, okay, or T account, but more appropriately, or if we want to be a bit more formal, then we will call it ledger. So thanks for watching and see you in next tutorial.